The UFO crash in Brazil. When aliens were captured alive. Introduction. Since the Roswell incident of 1947, humanity has never stopped wondering about those three letters. UFO. Countless mysterious objects have appeared across the skies, yet most vanish without a trace, leaving behind only faint lights or shards of strange metal. But what if we didn't just see the craft? What if we actually came face to face with the beings flying them? In January 1996, in a quiet Brazilian town called Varginha, something extraordinary happened. A UFO reportedly crashed to Earth, and two extraterrestrial beings were captured alive. Today, Stickman Quest takes you back to that day to uncover one of the most shocking UFO stories in modern history. The Varginha incident, when humans captured aliens. 1. Something falls from the sky. Early morning, January 13, 1996, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD, detected an unidentified flying object moving toward southeastern Brazil. Moments later, it vanished from radar. Around the same time, in the outskirts of Varginha, a farmer couple, Aurelina and Eurico de Freitas, were starting their day when their cattle suddenly panicked. Looking outside, Aurelina froze. A huge bus-sized object was hovering silently in the air, releasing thick white smoke before descending behind a nearby hill. They weren't the only witnesses. Professor Carlos de Souza, driving on a nearby road, saw a cigar-shaped craft emitting smoke from its tail. Thinking it was a plane crash, he rushed toward the site. But what he found left him speechless. Scattered everywhere were silver foil-like fragments, incredibly light. He could crumple one in his hand, and it would unfold back to its original shape. The air was filled with a choking ammonia-like stench. Moments later, Brazilian military trucks arrived, sealed off the area, and ordered him to leave immediately. Carlos later gave one short interview to the press, and then vanished from the public eye for 26 years. 2. The Three Girls of Varginha. A week later, on January 20th, 1996, three young women, Katia, 22, Lillian, 16, and Valkyria, 14, were walking near a wall by an industrial zone. Suddenly, Lillian screamed. Behind the wall crouched a strange creature. Its skin was brown and oily, its eyes large and glowing red, with no hair, no nose, no expression, and three small bumps on its head. The girls ran for their lives. When Lillian's mother, Luisa Silva, came back to check, the creature was gone. But she found three-toed footprints on the ground, and a foul smell like rotten eggs and sulfur hanging in the air. That odor lingered in her home for nearly 20 days. Soon after, the military arrived, armed and ready, blocking the streets and surrounding the area. Locals said they'd never seen such a massive deployment in their quiet town. 3. The capture. That same day, two military police officers, Marco Eli Cherez and Eric Lopes, were patrolling when a dark figure darted across the road. Marco jumped out and caught the creature with his bare hands, taking it to a local hospital. Days later, Marco fell gravely ill. His skin darkened. His body emitted the same stench described by the witnesses. Doctors couldn't determine the cause. On February 15, 1996, at just 23 years old, Marco died. The report listed septicemia, but many believe he was infected by an alien microorganism. After the tragedy, Eric Lopes disappeared from the public eye, threatening anyone who tried to contact him about that night. 4. Two beings captured. According to later declassified accounts, two extraterrestrial beings were captured that day, one caught by local firefighters in the morning, another by Officer Marco that night. Both were about 1 meter tall, with brown oily skin, large red eyes, and a nauseating odor. One even made sounds like a crying child. 5. Secrets in the hospital. A radiologist, speaking anonymously, recalled how soldiers brought in a black sealed bag, demanding an X-ray, but forbidding him to look inside. After the scan, they took the film and warned him, "For your own safety, forget what you saw." From that bag came the same suffocating smell of ammonia and sulfur described by others. It lingered for days in the hospital. Another security guard reported seeing a small non-human body on a stretcher, brown glossy skin, 3 claw-like fingers, and enormous eyes. Doctors worked frantically in silence. Moments later, the creature was pronounced dead. A soldier known as Military X later confessed he helped transport a steel container with the body out of the hospital. His commander told him to say it was a burned human corpse and to never mention it again. 6. The last message, according to Dr. Roger Lear, in the UFO crash in Brazil, a nurse identified only as M reported a chilling moment. While doctors operated, a bluish mist emerged from the being's body. When M looked into its red eyes, he felt a flood of images and thoughts invading his mind, followed by unbearable headaches that lasted for weeks. The creature's telepathic message was short, yet haunting. "We pity humankind. You have great potential, but you've forgotten how to use it." Within 24 hours, the being died. Some believe it ended its own life, rather than be experimented on. Air traffic controller João Fernandes later revealed that a U.S. military transport plane secretly landed in Brazil that same week. 2 helicopters then flew to Varginha, collected the bodies and debris, and returned to base. He claimed the operation was led by the U.S., with Brazil merely assisting. From that day on, the remains were never seen again. Under pressure from the public, the Brazilian army held a press conference stating, "There were no aliens." The 3 girls simply mistook a homeless man named Marinho for a creature. The bodies taken to the hospital were merely a short couple undergoing heart surgery. The explanation was absurd and immediately rejected by witnesses. Locals confirmed the streets were indeed swarming with soldiers, armored trucks, and sealed containers that night. The 3 girls, Katia, Lillian, and Valkyria, became national sensations, but fame quickly turned to pain. Rumors spread that Katia, who was pregnant, carried an alien child. Her marriage fell apart. She sank into depression. Lillian quit school. Valkyria avoided public life for years. Professor Carlos de Sousa, the first witness, was harassed, silenced, and suffered mental breakdowns. Others simply vanished or refused to ever speak again. Dr. John Mack, Harvard professor and Pulitzer Prize winner, traveled to Brazil in late 1996 to interview the witnesses. After hours of psychological evaluation, he concluded, "They are not lying. They truly believe what they saw." Originally a skeptic, Mack became one of the few scientists who dared to take such encounters seriously, believing they might reveal truths far beyond human understanding. 11. The legacy. Though denied by authorities, the Varginha UFO incident has become known as the Roswell of South America. Dozens of documentaries, books, and testimonies continue to surface, all pointing to one truth: something extraordinary happened that January in 1996, and the world may never be told the full story. So what really happened that night? A crashed aircraft? A secret military operation? Or the first real contact between humans and beings from another world? Perhaps each of us must find our own answer. But one thing seems certain: we are not alone in this universe. And if one night you see strange lights flickering across the sky, remember, a small town in Brazil once saw them too. Thank you for watching Stickman Quest. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support more deep space mysteries and hidden truths. Until next time, the truth is still out there, waiting to be found.